Good evening. It is Friday, November 14th. It is currently 7:49 in the early evening. It is time to get to work. Let's see. Let me catch you up. We'll start there. The last video, which I will link down below, was Surge Town, and that was Halloween, and it was absolutely insane, crazy that night. And if you watch that video, you will have seen that. And if you haven't watched that video, go watch it and see how crazy the surge was that night. It was absolutely insane. Anyway, at the end of that video, I said that the following week, my wife was going to be out of town, and I was going to do some marathon driving, and I kind of did, but I didn't. I ended up going duck hunting with my son on Sunday, which kind of rearranged some stuff as far as driving goes, and I didn't really record anything as far as that was concerned that week. So you missed out on that week, but because of technology, I'm able to catch you up on what I did that week, so you can at least see what I did. So let's look at what I did last week. Let me get this started here. All right, so last week, you can see here on the screen, there's Lyft and Uber. I only did 7 rides with Lyft and the 44 rides that I did with Uber, and there's my week, 615.58. It was a decent week, especially Thursday. Did 191 on a Thursday. That's pretty good. Typically I drive in the early mornings on Thursday, and then I drive after work on Thursday, so that's where I came in. And then you can see the time basically slept off for the weekend, hence why I really didn't record much. As a matter of fact, on Friday, I think I went out for not even an hour. I don't even think. It was pretty dead, which was surprising because there was stuff going on, but a lot of competition, a lot of drivers out, just a lot of stuff going on. So I basically just said forget it and went home. And then on Saturday I drove. One of the reasons why is I got some early morning reservations on Saturday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, well, I'll go do those. I'll go home, go to bed, and then get up and do that, and then drive in the morning. And that's what I did on that Saturday. Now, that was last week. This week, let's catch you up where I'm at this week. So there's Lyft. Currently, again, haven't really done much with Lyft. I've done 4 rides the whole week. I don't know what's going on with Lyft. For a while there, they were blowing Uber out of the water with ride quality. I mean, they were really killing it with the ride quality. And now, all of a sudden, it's like falling off the cliff, and they're back to their old ways. And as a matter of fact, they got a little mad at me this week because I was waiting for someone on an airport ride, and a ride came in from Uber, which was literally like around the block from where I was picking up the passenger for Lyft, and it was like $5 more to do the Uber ride versus the Lyft ride to go to the same location. So I canceled on the ride when I was waiting. The person was, I was waiting for them to come down. I canceled the ride and went and did the Uber ride because it paid more. And then Lyft sent me an email basically saying that they flagged my account for poor customer service because I canceled that ride while I was waiting for that girl. And, they were like, that's, not to do that. I'm like, well, pay better, what do you want me to do? Anyway, so let's look at Uber. Here's Uber so far, what I've done this week. Monday, I was in San Francisco. I got a reservation, early morning reservation, to take someone from Sacramento to the airport in San Francisco. So I did that, spent the day down there, drove down there, and then I got a ride late in the day from the airport queue in San Francisco to Stockton to get me towards home. And then after Stockton, I got a ride, I don't know, maybe, I think I was just outside of Lodi or something like that. Picked up someone and drove them to Folsom, so I basically got paid to drive all the way home, which was ideal, and had a really great day. As you can see, 3:45:04 on the day for that right there on Monday. And then Tuesday was a holiday, I didn't drive. And then you can see what I've done so far with the rest of the week, and here we are on Friday. Not much going on downtown tonight. As far as concerts, there is a concert tomorrow night. There was a concert last night, but I didn't stay out last night because I did a little driving this morning. But we're gonna go see what's gonna happen with tonight. Oh, I need to go unplug the car. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right. So there's not much going on tonight as far as activity, except for the typical, club stuff and whatever, but no big events. So tomorrow night there is, and I'll be out tomorrow night. Probably won't record, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But so it'll just be the club scene, showing people on. However, Uber does have a bunch of boosts going on tonight for extra pay per hour when you do the rides within a specific zone, that kind of a thing. Hold on, I have to scan my ticket to get out of here. Oh, nice. Didn't have to pay. So they're doing all that, and so I'm going to try to focus in those areas pretty much for the evening and just stay in those areas and see what happens. Because if I can take advantage of that boost time, I'm going to do that and try to maximize that as much as possible. But right now, what I need to do is I need to turn everything on. Currently, I am kind of more focused on Uber right now, just because the quality of rides that are coming out of Lyft just suck, and they're just not giving me anything to work with. But we're gonna see how they do tonight. And again, I'd like to take advantage of those zones that Uber has going on. I think the next one starts at 10 o'clock. So I got a couple hours before that happens. So if I can take advantage of Lyft, what they throw at me, and then once it happens with Uber, kind of stay focused on and stay focused in those zones. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, again, great example. Yeah, we're gonna punt on that. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I did want to talk about, someone asked me a question today in the comments, and I think his name is at Mr. Ryan Kelly, I think is what the person's name, the subscriber. I think he's a subscriber. I hope he is. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and smash the like button. I'll put his name up here on the screen so you can see. But he asked me about Spark, so we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we'll also talk a little bit more about Uber Cash Rides. There was a comment that I got where someone had basically like an incident with someone paying, and it just kind of turned into a debacle. And again, another reason why I just say no to Uber Cash Rides. And I got another little anecdote on that as well. So we'll talk about all that stuff later as well. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to get a ride out of where I'm at. I just got done charging, topped off the battery. We're good to go, and we'll see what happens here. Worst case scenario, I may try to move my way down down towards into town a little bit and see what we can catch down there. As you can see on the screen, they're right now I'm kind of in between pockets of activity. If this thing has any kind of accuracy, and the first ride's a crap ride. Get rid of that one. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're in for the duration tonight. Typically, at the end of the night, I like to make my way towards Folsom and finish out in Folsom and clean up at the bars down there. But I think tonight we're going to stay in town because, again, they have all that boost time and it runs through the closing of the bars, and I'd rather take advantage of that extra money that I can make if I can just kind of stay down there, do little 5-6 mile runs out of the downtown area and back is kind of what my focus is going to be. I want to kind of keep it that way. Typically those rides are going to be in the $5 to $10 range depending on where they're going, and if I can just bang out those rides, that would be great, because then I can hit the EV, make a big dent in the EV bonus. I think I have 124 more rides I need to do for that for Uber, and I'd like to kill that because I have this weekend and all of next week to do that, because I'm not driving Thanksgiving week. I'll be off and not driving at all. So anyway, that's the plan. And of course, before we do anything, we need to always do this. Ah, yes. Get the night started right. So here we go. Every time. Every time. It does not disappoint. All right. Where's that going? 13th and Bay. It's a little deep. And for $8, yeah. And 64 cents, not gonna do that. Yeah, we'll pass. We're good. Again, that's the kind of shit that they're throwing. As a matter of fact, they threw up Lyft threw up a ride the other day, and it was going maybe like, how's that ride back again? Maybe I think it was going to the airport from downtown, which is about 10 miles, and they were paying the fare was $6.50, and that was in the morning, and I had just accepted a ride going the same distance to the airport with Uber, and it was paying $14. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And I don't know why there's that big a disparity right now with Lyft. I cannot believe that they're hurting that bad. I'm not going to Davis for $12. That's a shitty ride. Oh, it may be one of those nights. I'll tell you right now, I've been driving really early in the morning, like starting at 2 a.m. There's a guy that lives like a mile away from me, and he takes Uber or Lyft to work every day for work, and I get up and I take him to work, which is going towards the airport, and I go and park it at the hotels in the hotel area and do airport shuttles in the morning, and I've been doing very well doing that, and the ride quality is just spot on, and I've been killing it on reservations too. I had that reservation going to San Francisco Airport this week, or last week, this week. It was a great ride. It was paying over $1 per mile to go all the way to San Francisco, and it was ideal. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. And the reservations have been great this week. I've been just stacking them up. It's been great. So, I kind of like driving those really early morning hours during the week. They just really work out well. It's been doing well. I've been pulling anywhere from $75 to almost $100 in the morning, driving 3 hours, 4 hours tops. So pretty decent. All right, enough of me rambling right now. I will be back with some updates later on as the night unfolds, and we'll talk about Spark, and we'll talk about Uber Cash Rides again. So till then, I'll be back, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, quick update. Man, I gotta make an executive decision right now on what I'm gonna do. As you can see on the screen right now, this is kind of what I'm working against. It's not as bad as it was 20 minutes ago when the number of drivers was just flooded downtown. But there's just a lot of competition right now. And I'm thinking that, and I'm getting rides like that. I mean, it's not a bad, for the $1 per mile is not bad, but I'm trying to figure out if, I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go to the airport, and hang there until like 10 or 11 o'clock and see what happens. Maybe do some shuttles back and forth between downtown and the airport, just to get some rides in, because there's just so many freaking drivers down here that all I'm getting is like $3 rides from Lyft and $4 rides from Uber. And that's just not going to cut it for me right now. I don't mind doing the comfort rides that are $4.69, which is like the bare minimum that you would get for a comfort ride for like a mile. That's fine. But when they're like 3 miles for $4.69, that's ridiculous. That's just not worth it. So, and that's what I'm getting right now. There's too many drivers right now downtown for me. And although the airport queue has 100 drivers out there, but that goes pretty quick. And right now we're at like the peak time of the night with the airport, with flights coming in, as you can see right there. And I just looked at grid wise, and there's half of them are delayed, so they're going to be coming in even later than expected. So there could be an opportunity there, and I got to make a decision on what I'm going to do, because right now what's happening downtown is just not working for me. I need better quality rides than what I'm getting. So either that, or I bug out and do I want that? No. Or do I bug out, go home, hang out, go to sleep, get some sleep, and then get up at like 1, and then come drive and clean up in the bars, and then do airport rides in the early morning hours like I did last week. And I showed you what I did on that Saturday. Did I show you what I did on that Saturday? This is what I did on that Saturday, last Saturday, when I did the airport rides. Let me go over there. There we go. So I did that, $98, and that was all in the morning, driving, which isn't bad. I mean, considering. And then did some drop-offs, and then did some pickups once the flight started coming in. And then later that morning I did some Spark deliveries. So we can talk a little bit about Spark. Again, someone asked me about Spark and what I think about it. If I use Spark as kind of like a filler, for example, like last Saturday, I had some extra time in the morning before I needed to be home for my wife to have the car, and I was done with the airport pickups, so I left. I took a ride that took me into the area where I wanted to be to do the Spark deliveries, and there's like 3 or 4 Walmarts and a Sam's Club that are like in my little zone, and they're pretty consistently busy, and so I started doing some deliveries for them, and I did one shop and deliver for them last Saturday for the first time. Here's my impression. Here's my thoughts on Spark. It's a good filler for that purpose. Fill time, you got some downtime, maybe you're driving full time and it gets slow in your market during the middle of the day, so you can go do that to fill time. What I don't like about it is you wait around a lot. I'm at the mercy of the people at the Walmart to get the orders ready and to get it out to me, and if there are other people there waiting for their orders, I have to wait. I'm waiting in a queue for them to get them done before they come give me the stuff before I can leave. There's a lot of downtime where you're just sitting around waiting to be able to do a delivery, and I don't like that. I don't like that idle time where you're doing nothing. The shop and pay is fine, except you have to go grocery shopping for someone, and you got to find the shit in the store. And if you're unfamiliar with how the Walmart is laid out, even though they tell you like what aisle it's on and what shelf number it's on, it still takes time to do it, and that takes away from if the wheels aren't moving, you're not making money, kind of a thing. So I think if you're using Spark in connection with filling time doing rideshare driving, I think it's a good option. I think if it's something that you're looking at doing as your sole source or your main source of gig work income, I think I would look elsewhere. I think you would do better with Amazon Flex, which has much higher pay and much simpler deliveries, right? For Amazon, you're just dropping at the door and running, and the faster you can do it, the better your dollar per hour is with Amazon. I did a Spark delivery. There were 7 stops, and this is my fault. I should have looked at where it was going, but it went way out into Rancho Murrieta, which is kind of like southeast of where I live, and deep, and I missed that. So I ended up driving way out of my way on that, and it took longer to get it done because the people at Walmart forgot to put labels on some items, and I had to call support and figure out who gets what because they didn't put a label on there. And that just took time away from me getting it done and the time that they thought it would take me to do. They said it would be an hour and 15 minutes to do these 7 deliveries. It took almost 2 hours to get done, and I was not happy about that. So when you're relying on someone else to give you the thing that you need to go do your job, those situations I don't typically like, because you're at their mercy. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't go tell them to speed up. And if you know anything about Walmart, there's no one that works fast in a Walmart. So it's not, you're just at their mercy. Anyway, that's kind of how I feel about Spark. I think I'm going to continue to do it if the opportunity is there, if they're good orders. I don't mind doing like 1-2 stop deliveries that are like 5 miles, and sometimes those pay like $20, and that's good dollar per mile. It's good use of time. I mean, I can bang it out real quick and be done. I probably would stay away from the shop and delivers just because they take a little bit longer, and I don't think you're getting paid adequately for that time. But again, use it as a filler, don't use it as a main source, in my opinion. But yeah. All right, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do here, and where I'm going to go and how I'm going to work this. And as you can see, there's still just a shit ton of drivers in the downtown area. And this is what it's been so far tonight. There's been a lot of waiting. So I think I might head over to the airport and see what kind of damage I can do there. And yeah, we'll wait it out a little bit. Maybe a little bit later it'll get better. So we'll see what happens. All right, I'll be back with another update here in a little bit. All right, I'll be back. All right, quick update. Things have taken quite a turn. I did a couple airport runs, did a delivery, and I got back into town. And then there's an EDM show that was going on down at the Capitol, and it got out, and there is a shit ton of people out and about right now. And I'm trying to just bang out rides here in town and take advantage of the boost time right now, as I said earlier, and it's working out. I'm on a ride right now. I think I'm going, well, it's taking me 2 miles to get there, and then I'm going like a mile, and it's like a $7 ride, so it's about $3 a mile, which is ideal. I love those rides. Those are great rides. And I can just stay here in town and just keep circling people around within this boost area. I'm all for that. So should work out really well as far as if I can stick to this plan right now and keep getting these rides and stay in the grid. It should work out well. Anyway, I forgot to mention what the goal tonight was earlier on in the video, and the goal is $200 on Friday nights. So that is the goal. So we will put that up here, and it should already be up there because I'll put it up in the beginning of the video. And but anyway, $200 is the goal for tonight, and we are on our way to hopefully to get close to that. So we'll see how this plays out. But right now we're gonna go get Vikram and get him to his destination, which is right in the heart of where all the clubs are and where all the little ravers are going right now for the post-rave functions. So we're going to keep doing this until it dies out later on, and I will be back with another update in a little bit. All right, I'll be back. All right, that's a wrap on a I think a somewhat productive evening. I got busy there for a while, and it was pretty good. I think with the last update I said I was I was just kind of staying in that zone, staying down here. I'll show you on the map. Just staying down in here, right there. Let's see, where is it? This. I was trying to stay right in here. That's where I wanted to stay. Just bang around rides, boom, 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 boom. Get these bonus zones and use them to my advantage. And that's kind of what I was trying to do. And I mean, it worked out. Whoops, get out of the way. I was getting the rides that I wanted, and they're good dollar, per mile value, so that worked out well. But anyways, it went from slow to busy pretty quick, and that was great. Let's see. Before we get to numbers and the night, Uber cash rides. If you want 2 more reasons why you should not do Uber cash rides, here they are. Number 1, someone made a comment on a video, on the Uber cash ride video, where he did a cash ride. Let's just say it was $9 was the fare, and the person paid him, but then the person claimed to Uber that they paid more than $9 and that they didn't get change back. And Uber basically believed the rider and not the driver, and they basically withheld, if I'm remembering this correctly, they withheld that additional money away from him for other rides that he was doing that he had to make up. I think eventually he was able to get that back, but that simple fact that they're going to take the passenger's word over the driver in that situation is probably always going to put you in that deficit, and you're always going to be the one that's going to have to come up and explain or try to prove the passenger wrong. And that's just unacceptable to me. That's just another reason why you should not be doing cash rides at all. The second reason why is a buddy of mine did a cash ride and got paid in change. Not a single paper note was exchanged. It was all nickels, dimes, and quarters that he got paid. And I was like, that is ridiculous. That is just a hard no. So if you're doing cash rides, there's a potential that you're going to get paid that way. And quite frankly, is that really the customer that you want in your car, that they have to pay in basically their spare change? I know times are hard and people got to do what you got to do, but seriously, that's crazy, and not how I want to get paid. So there's your 2 reasons not to do Uber cash rides. And if you are doing them, as I said in the video, I think you're just making yourself incredibly vulnerable for bad stuff to happen. And Uber's putting a target on our back as it is, just by advertising that they're accepting cash rides. So I strongly encourage you all to turn the preference off, confirm it's off. Anytime they update the app, I would always go back in and confirm that it's switched off, and just not do it. It's not worth it. And I know drivers are going to do it, then it falls on them to do that. I mean, the whatever the risk that comes with it's going to fall on them. Okay, let's wrap up tonight with some look at the numbers. As you can see, with Lyft, 3 for $48. Again, not very many rides. I would think, let me see how many, 72. So I got 75 rides, rejected 72. That's the quality. A lot of like $3, $4 rides from them tonight that were just ridiculous. That last ride that I did, the 25, that was probably one of the better rides that I got all night. And that 17 was a pretty solid ride as well. So there's my 3 rides for Lyft. Let's turn this off. There's my last ride that I just did. But let's go look at the overall numbers. Oops. All right, 122. So what's that on the? I'll put the total right up here, but obviously I'm short on my goal by just a little bit, not by much, but short on it. I earlier in the evening I would have swore that I was not even going to come remotely close to what I got right there. So I'll put the total right up here, but there you go. There's tonight's 122 with Uber, 15 rides, 37. Wait, how many did they offer me? I didn't say. 15 trips. Missed my $10 average. Not happy about that. Let's look at the activity. Here you go. I mean, that boost really did help out tonight with some of these rides. There you go. Nice tip. Well, $2. There's that. There you go. There's my activity for tonight. I'll put the total for the week up, which will include Saturday, which I'll probably not going to record Saturday, but I'll put the total up here that includes what I do tomorrow, so you can see that. And then as far as hours are concerned, I mean, I started at 8. Like, what did I start at? 8? 8:26. So I started 8:26 and I got done just after like 2:20 or something like that. So there's the number of hours that it took me to get to do what I did. Someone had asked earlier for that as well. So from 8:26 to 2:20, I think is what it was. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for this week. Although I will be out tomorrow night. I may do a video. We'll see what happens. If not, you'll see me next week again on Friday. And yeah, that's going to do it. If you've made it this far in the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Greatly appreciate all the new subscribers and all the comments and some of the feedback on a couple of the most recent videos. So thank you very much. Keep the conversation going. Again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I try to get to all the comments, and yeah, I appreciate it. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Thanks, and I will talk to you next week, maybe tomorrow, but for sure next week. All right, till then, see you then.